Hi friends, this is Pete with BananaHobby.com. Welcome to a very fun and special flight review today. We have here the BlitzRCworks Sky Hunter, and we're just going to go ahead and real quickly break down a couple of really cool features that come with the Sky Hunter here. First of all, as you can see here, we have the red version and then we have the blue version. Before I go into what the differences are between what you can do with this airplane, I'm just going to go ahead and just start talking about the actual different things that you can actually do with this. Essentially, these are 4 types of airplanes into one airplane body here. So this right here, right now, I have it configured in the V-tail, and it's flying off of the EDF Jet. Okay, so let me rewind here so you understand here. You can opt to go ahead and mount a brushless, go ahead and mount the motor setup, which is mounted onto the blue version like this, or you can fly it on an EDF Jet unit. So I don't make this too confusing. This airplane was shipped to you with 2 motors in it, and one of them is a 64mm EDF unit with a 4300 kV brushless outrunner, and then the other one will be for your propeller setup, which is going to be a 1400 kV with a 7x6 propeller, pusher propeller. So you can set it up either way. So you can fly this as a V-tail with the EDF Jet unit, which is right in here, which is really cool. That's the setup I have it flying in right now. Or you can have it set up with a V-tail and fly it on the propeller pusher unit. So that's going to be your choice. So on different days, you can choose to fly it in different variations. And then at the same time, you can pull this tail off and then install the regular conventional T-tail or the regular tail on this airframe. So you have it on the regular tail with a propeller or the regular tail with the EDF unit. I hope that wasn't too confusing for you. So essentially, like I said, this is about 4 airplanes into one unit. You can change it on whatever you feel like flying that particular day. The actual swapping it out takes very little time. The tail section will probably take you 2 minutes, 3 minutes. The motor area here will probably take you about 5 minutes, so you can have it swapped out at the field or back in your workshop or anything like that you want. So this is going to span out at 1400 millimeters in the wingspan. It is 55.1 inches, and it flies on your 2200 milliamp 11.1 volt 3-cell battery packs. And on the propeller version, I think 25C is plenty for the propeller version. On the EDF version, I would fly a little bit higher of a C rating just so that you have that extra punch, because it is a 64mm EDF unit and we're talking about 4300 kV. So this is basically what's inside of our EDF jets, but it's in this format. So this is the first time we were able to bring something like this to you in this type of a configuration, and flies great on any of these configurations. So for today's flight review, we will fly it in all 4 configurations, or maybe 2 or 4, I'm not sure, but we're gonna go ahead and show you as much as we can in different types of these flying formats here. This front canopy is magnetic. Your battery goes right down here. And then what's really cool is this. There is also here a clear portion for you to carry a small micro HD camera for videos and aerial videos and photography if you choose to. The only thing I don't like is that this is a little bit not as clear as I would like it, so you can actually take that off if you choose to and replace it with something a little bit more clear, or just not have it there at all. So this is fully EPO foam, no glues needed. You pretty much can unscrew the main ring, it'll come right off. There are actual hinges in the ailerons and the elevators. And real quickly, what I want to talk about is your V-tail. When you fly it in the V-tail configuration, you can get it from Banana Hobby as ready to fly, receiver ready, or ARF. So if you choose to get it and you fly it on V-tail configuration and you have your own computer radio, you can actually go ahead and set up and select V-tail mixing if you have your own computer radio, like a DX7 or DX6i or a DX8 or something like that. And then if you fly it on a ready to fly format, what you will be doing with the tail section is you will put both of your push rods into the one easy connector that controls your elevator. So you won't be using any rudder function back here. You'll just be flying this on 3-channel with your ailerons and your elevators, and it flies fine just like that as well. In that format or in this format, they both fly extremely well. This is something that is just a ton of fun. I've been flying these and everybody here at the field just really likes it. They fly very nice. They're aerobatic, and they're very durable. So you can use this for your sport aerobatic trainer or your actual trainer to get into flying. And if you do that route, I would suggest that you start off with the regular tail and the pusher prop. So this way it keeps everything away from damage. And you have a pretty hard plastic nose there to keep it from damage. And aside from that, I think I've talked enough about the BlitzRCworks Sky Hunter here. And we're gonna go ahead and just take these and give you a flight review right here in the beautiful sunny skies of Southern California. Let's go flying. So we have the Sky Hunter here in our first format, which is the regular conventional tail and the pusher prop. This is fully EPO foam construction, and this is actually your basic 4-channel layout with ailerons, elevator, rudder, and throttle. I'll talk a little bit more about the V-tail setup once we get into the actual V-tail flying portion of it. So let's go ahead and fly this Sky Hunter in this format here and show you how stable and fun this little airplane is. All right, I'm gonna basically just do a couple of real smooth circuits here. You can see how smooth she tracks through the air here. A couple of really cool things I like about the Sky Hunter is one of them is the fact that it actually flies on a 2200 milliamp 3-cell lithium polymer battery. And the reason why is here in Southern California, we do get wind from time to time. And the extra weight in there with the 2200 packs actually makes it a little bit heavier and makes it a lot more stable in the wind. So let's go ahead and just open her up here, and then we're gonna go ahead and just fly her around here. You can see how stable she actually is, how agile. We're gonna throttle up, do a couple of full throttle turns here. As you can see, not lacking in power whatsoever here. I'll go ahead and pull a vertical upline and show you how powerful this is on the pusher prop. That is a glider, power glider, pretty much going straight vertical there. All right, we're gonna go ahead and drop out of there before we get too high up there. Okay, you can actually use this for thermaling or anything like that. Let's go ahead and do a roll here. Yeah, nice, clean axial roll. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and just turn around here and we'll do a 4-point roll here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, I know a lot of people don't understand 4-point rolls and things like that, so let's just go ahead and do a standard loop here. See a big old loop here? I'm gonna throttle down on the down line and then pull up on the elevator, and we are clear here. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of inverted flying. There we go. We are inverted, and we're going to do a little bit of inverted circuits here. Look at that. It is a little bit windy here in Southern California, and we are flying this Sky Hunter inverted. Low and slow. Okay, we're going to go ahead and roll her back 180 to right side up here. There we go, and we're gonna go ahead and just set her up for a landing here, and we are going to go ahead and convert her to V-tail. Let's go ahead and land here. Try to get her as close to us as we can here. With a little jump, just like that. So that is your conventional setup on the Sky Hunter. Let's go ahead and grab her now and set her up for the V-tail configuration and have some fun with the V-tail. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to convert the Sky Hunter and the standard tail to the V-tail configuration, and I can show you really quick here how quick it is to actually convert this. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to pull this bottom piece here, and the 2 elevator and rudder servos are actually on what we call easy connectors. So you just loosen the Phillips head screws here, and then you're able to adjust the length of the push rods here. So that's all we do. We're going to come up to the front here, and I'm going to just pop open the control clevises, and I'm going to detach the push rods here from the rudder and from the elevator. Okay, we have 2 screws down here. in the lower portion, 2 Phillips head screws. All we do is remove that. Oh, there goes one screw. Okay, and there's the second screw. And the whole tail comes right off, just like that. So your T-tail, your regular conventional tail is off. And you have your V-tail. We just slide the front in there, and then press down. And then we're gonna go back to the 2 Phillips head screws. And we're gonna go ahead and tighten the V-tail down here. There we go. And that is how quickly you can convert the Skyhunter from your regular tail to a V-tail. V-tail is fixed on there, ready to go. And then we're gonna connect to the push rods here to the middle center hole here. Press down, the clevis here, and that's ready to go. This portion I need to talk a little bit about because people that don't understand V-tail, I need to talk to you a little bit about how to set this up. So right now we're gonna make sure these are all both flat here, which they are. And I'm gonna go ahead and tighten down the easy hinges down here. Just snug them down a little bit for now here. Okay, they're tight. I'm gonna go ahead and put the airplane on my lap, hold on to the push rod and tighten it down some more here so we make sure the screw is nice and tight. Okay, it's tight. And that is tight. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about this really quick here. What's going on now is if you are purchasing this airplane as a ready to fly, you're going to have to do one of a few things here. First of all, if you're flying this on your own computer radio, a JR9503, DX7, DX6i, any of those DX8s or JR radios, you can opt to set this up in V-tail mixing, which means that your elevators on your V-tail here will operate as elevators and as rudders at the same time. And that's how actually I have it set up when we're running 2 servos here. So that's if you're running your own computer radio. If you purchase this as a ready to fly from Banana Hobby and you have a regular radio, you're basically going to fly it on the V-tail format here on 3 channels. You're not going to use your rudder servo at all. What you will do is on these easy connectors here, you will take both connectors, which are controlling the elevators, and you are going to put the push rod for the one in the rudder servo into the easy connector of the whole of the elevator servo. So both of your push rods here will be in one easy connector, and you just won't be using your rudder servo. You don't need a rudder. You can fly this as a 3-channel format on V-tail mixing just fine. So that's what you do if you're flying it on a ready to fly format. You put both push rods into the elevator easy connector there in the same hole and then tighten it down, and they're both level. If you're flying it on your own computer radio, go ahead and program it to V-tail mixing and you're pretty much ready to go. So that's pretty much, we're done there. All we're going to do now is put another battery in this Skyhunter in the V-tail format with the pusher prop, and let's go ahead and give her a flight. We now have the Skyhunter here in the V-tail format and the pusher prop variation here. And just real quick, we're going to talk a little bit about the V-tail. I have it on my own radio, so we are running V-tail mixing, so my elevators and rudders actually coincide with each other. And if you choose to fly this as a 3-channel, you will just have elevators and ailerons, and it actually flies just fine. You really don't even need to have V-tail mixing, but for some of the more advanced programming enthusiasts, V-tail mixing is always a bonus. So let's go ahead and fly this in the V-tail format here. A couple of things that I guess you could say, why fly a V-tail? Why fly a regular tail? I think it's personal preference. I used to do a lot of slope soaring and contests with flying at the ocean and the mountains and cliffs and things like that. And all of my speed ships were all V-tails basically. Almost all of them are all V-tails. The thing I like about V-tails is just that it looks cool. And there are a few benefits, but it gets pretty technical of why there's benefits. I just think it looks cool, so that's why we fly the V-tail. Let's go ahead and do a couple circuits here, show you that basically the flying character is pretty much the same. Go ahead and do a loop here. Throttle down. Okay, you see that it still flies extremely stable here. Let's go ahead and do a roll. Throttle up. Let's go ahead and do a roll. How about a couple of rolls? Well, pretty much just like the regular tail there. So again, this is just a personal preference. It does come with both tails, so you can choose to fly it on one or the other. If you are a beginner, I would probably suggest that you do start off with the regular tail there so you don't get too confused with how a V-tail works. All right, let's go ahead and bring it around and set her up for landing here. And our next configuration here is I am going to remove the pusher propeller and the motor and install the electric ducted fan jet, and we're really going to have some fun there. There we go, we're lined up here. A little bit of a washout there. We'll try to put it right down here. Sweet! So this is a Sky Hunter in the V-tail format. Let's go ahead and change out the motor and we'll get her in the EDF Jet format. All right, so now that you have seen the Sky Hunter in the V-tail format with the pusher prop, we are going to go ahead and remove the motor now and then install the EDF Jet unit right here. This is a little ducted fan unit we're going to install into the center of this. A couple of steps that you're going to do now, it's pretty simple. You have two main screws that will remove the spinner, and then you have a prop nut, and you want to remove the propeller nut and the propeller and then the backing of the spinner here. And then there's only 4 screws in an X pattern holding the motor on there. And that's pretty much all you have to do. And then you have 2 screws on the motor hatch opening. You remove those, pop this motor hatch off, and plug in your 3 wires to the ESC after removing this motor. That's how quickly it goes in. And this sits right down in there. And you put the EDF motor hatch cover back on there, tighten it back down, and you're good to go. A couple of tips here. If you plug it in and your motor is actually running in the reverse direction and you have wind blowing out the front instead of the backside, go ahead and just switch the positioning of any 2 wires. These are not color coded for any reason whatsoever. They could be all mismatched colors, but as long as the motor is running in the correct direction. So if it's running in the wrong direction, switch any of these 2 wires to the ESC and it will run in the correct direction. And that goes the same for the propeller format here as well. So now go ahead and, if you're going to follow this, go ahead and change out your unit to the EDF, and I'll meet you back over there and have some fun in the jet format. Pilots, we have now the Sky Hunter in our EDF Jet format. This airplane, Sky Hunter, made by BlitzRCworks, I believe to be the best of both worlds. You have your stability, you have your aerobatic capability, and now you have it in an EDF Jet format. This is actually my favorite format with the V-tail because I just think V-tails look cool. And we have a EDF Jet fan unit in here. And the EDF Jet fan unit is a 4300 kV motor as opposed to the 1300 kV pusher prop motor that was back here when we did the pusher prop portion of it. So now, in this configuration, we're just gonna go ahead and just basically take her up there and have some fun with it. Again, I would suggest to use 55C or above because this is now in a jet format and it's a higher draw kind of a situation here now. So let's go ahead and take her up. Okay. You can see that this is just now it's just a ton of fun. There's no propeller back there, and it's basically like flying a jet. Performance is still just wonderful there. Lots of power. You still roll, everything is great, and it's still just as stable. And you have your ability to basically fine-tune and customize this aircraft to how you choose to fly it. You can have it on any kind of tail configuration. You can have it on a pusher prop, you know, or one day you could break your pusher prop propeller and then you could decide that you want to put in the EDF Jet, whatever you want to do. It probably took me about 5 minutes or less to get the EDF Jet unit in there, and it took me about 3 minutes or less to get the tail converted to the regular tail or the V-tail here. Listen to that jet, listen to that EDF unit there, just hums. Look at that, V-tail EDF format, inverted flying. How about that there? A little low there. Always when you're flying EDFs, use throttle management. You don't want to stay at full throttle the whole time. It's a lot of strain and wear and tear on your electronics there and your battery. So I always tend to fly throttle management. I'm gonna give you one more full throttle flyby here. And then I'm gonna pull a vertical upline here into a big round loop. It was a little bit not too pretty of a loop, but it was fun. All right, so this is the EDF format. A little bit of bumpy wind here now, but that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and set her up for a landing. Try to put her right in front of us here. And friends, that is your flight review of the BlitzRCworks Sky Hunter. This is something that is actually just a ton of fun because it is full, the full ability to convert it to however format you choose to fly this beautiful airplane in. Durable EPO foam construction, use it for FPV, use it for aerial photography, whatever you choose to do, use it to have some fun. Once again, Sky Hunter, BlitzRCworks, available at Banana Hobby. My name is Pete. Thank you all always for your support. Follow us on Twitter, please. Like us on Facebook and subscribe here on YouTube. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and leave it in the comment box below. And if I can get to it, I'll go ahead and answer your questions on a live episode. Thank you all always, and we'll see you next time.